personal thing. It's my selfish, guilty pleasure that I come and experience twice a week.
I think Hampstead School of Art's really wonderful. It's a very open and friendly place.
I've been in the Hampstead School of Art for 4 years now, and it's really a very good place because it includes everybody for different nationalities, backgrounds.
It's really proved very fulfilling and relaxing.
I haven't done anything artistic really since my school days, and I've been a lawyer for years, and I wanted to try something new and different.
The people that I teach seem to be coming here for to socialize. That's a big aspect of it. I think that people like to get together and even meet up after.
It's local to me. I live just round the corner in Hampstead. I never knew about it really until probably about 10 years ago even.
What I'm told, and this is on good authority by the daughter of one of the founders of the school, is that when Henry Moore and another group, among part of a larger group of young men came back from the Second World War, and Henry Moore had been mustard gassed himself, they came back and thought, we can help people to heal. And so they set up art school and art classes in a room that was lent to them, actually. The school's never had ownership of a building before. And they started teaching people art and making art together. And this blossomed, and their idea was that the Hampstead Artists Council, which became known as, would spread among the country, and other councils would happen that would bring people together and make art. And those councils did happen. I believe there's one in Sheffield and in other parts of the north of the country. But it only really took root in Hampstead, and it's been going ever since. So Hampstead School of Art grew out of Hampstead Artists Council, and Henry Moore was one of the early founders of Hampstead Artists Council. And in the 1980s, the early 1980s, Hampstead School of Art became a charity. Hampstead School of Art does not run to make a profit. We keep our fees as low as we possibly can. And the reason we do that is we want to incorporate as many people as possible. Even within that, I'm very aware that some people can't afford our fees. And for those people who really struggle with our fees, I try and find solutions. It's not easy. We have a very limited budget, but we are a very efficient machine. I'm the head of the school. I'm the principal. I have a group of trustees. The chair and the vice chair are the most hard-working people that I've ever worked with. We have 4 people in the office who also work very hard and to whom I'm very grateful for making the school work so well. And all our money comes from fees. And this is something that was recognised by Camden Council recently, that they know that we save them a lot of money because they know that we incorporate into the school people who really would be in trouble without the school. I could tell you many stories, but some of them revolve around the basic fact that because we're here, people know they can get out of bed and live a fruitful life and a meaningful life.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine not having the school to come to.
It has been so stimulating and has added so much to my life.
And that's just part of our cohort. For those professionals, they come here to continue learning with our specialist teachers. But as a charity, we can deliver all those things together in a way that we can govern and genuinely do the best for every single student that's in this school. We have several quite extraordinary students here. Well, all our students are extraordinary, but there are some wonderful stories here. Teddy Lena came to the school as a 16-year-old. His mother literally knocked on the door of the school and said, "I've heard about Hampstead School of Art. I have a son who I think is very artistic." I interviewed Teddy. What I found was a child. He was 16. He's been deaf from birth. He also has a sister that's deaf from birth. His mother is a single parent. She's like a lioness with her children. And Teddy showed me some drawings which I thought were extraordinary for his age. And there was no doubt I had to invite Teddy to come and work with us at the school. And his mother has a very limited income, and she said, "Isabel, I can't pay you." And so I do what I often do, which is take my cap off and go round people that I know and say, "Can you give us 20 quid to cover Teddy's material costs," and etc., etc. This has been going on for 2 years now.
These two I made it. We just done a tested class. And then next day I got a phone call from principal head Isabel. She was so pleased to call me and say, "Listen, Dana, He's so talented, and we accept him, and we were going to give a bursary to him. And that was, oh my God, not just because he came to school, but it was a big relief for me, which is, yes, and he deserved it.
Teddy joined our full-time course as a foundation student last year, and the capacity he has to learn is quite extraordinary. Although it can be very challenging to communicate with him, he's very intelligent and picks up the visual language very quickly. I'm delighted to say offered a place at university to study a fine art degree. So Teddy, Lena, just watch out for him.
Was the way that he could talk, and now Teddy is still quiet boy, but he likes to talk. He likes to make his characters to talk for him. This is what he has written in his statement. But I'm so pleased that he got a placement in this school, which is a wonderful place. It's an excellent, not just because Teddy is deaf and then he needs a small environment and all this, what the school have, friendly people around him, students and teachers, which they all are dedicated. I don't know, I wish I could do something to help the school as well. This is a wonderful school in the heart of the community. It's a brilliant, I don't know, the way we could try something that everyone can help. You can't find the schools like that in any other communities. Maybe I'm wrong, but I found very difficult till I found this school for Teddy.
The advantages of working in a specialist art school like ours is the breadth of what we offer. We specialise in fine art and applied arts, and that's what we do.
Yeah, because at the moment the top of the ring is getting all the...
Yeah.
Okay, keep it moving.
People can come here and enjoy making mosaics, sculpture, printmaking, painting of all different kinds, as well as silk painting, construction.
You line up one of the prongs and you press it in. What we try to do is to get the silk as tight as possible, and in that respect the paint will really flow, and it's much easier, more effective, you get better results. The first scarf when you start with me is kind of like a sampler, and I'm a little bit bossy. I call it Project 1, but once you've got this one out of the way, you'll have the basic technique at your disposal. So when you move into your second one, I just back off completely.
Tony Wigg is the teacher who's responsible for introducing textiles, particularly silk painting, into adult education examination. So he's a very important figure in the field and an excellent practitioner.
I turned up one day and I walked in and I said, is there any teaching? And they said, no, go away. And so I went away. And then a few years later I came back and I did the same thing. And the principal said, oh yeah, would you like to teach And I said, okay. It's a very nice atmosphere here to work. I mean, generally in the art school, it's you just end up talking about art all the time, which is wonderful. I have a course from beginners through to advanced, really. Perspective, composition, texture, form. People go through a basic course of that and then they go on to colour, and I teach colour theory. And then we start looking at different art movements, and then it's going towards them doing their own work, them becoming artists, basically. Some people want to just do their own stuff straight away, and I usually ask people what they want. They come into my class and I say, yeah, what do you want? Many people don't know what they want though. This is my home. I virtually live here. I'm enjoying myself so much I feel a bit guilty that I'm not actually working.
The school was given a building that is now Camden Arts Centre, and it grew and grew and grew until the classes and what became the exhibitions were too big to fit in that building. The school came here to Kiddipur Avenue, And in Kidderpore Avenue, it was the tenant of King's College. And King's College were landlords for about 10 years, and then they sold everything to Barrett's. When I became the principal, the Barrett's very kindly said, stay for a little while, but eventually the school will have to move on because we will redevelop the area. And I went away and I looked around for other places, and I discovered that there was nowhere in Hampstead the school could possibly afford. So I went back to Barrett's and I said, the greatest gem that you can give new people coming to the area is having Hampstead School of Art in the centre of your development. Create a pulsating heart. Give people what they want. They're coming to Hampstead, they're paying premium money, they're coming here because of the history of Hampstead. And a new development can be a very sterile place. But if you put Hampstead School of Art as the beating cultural centre, the heart of the development, you'll attract really a community that wants to be here. And Barrett said, wow, what a great idea. And we've never looked back. And as a consequence of that, we've designed a building, we've worked with wonderful architects, Alice and Morrison, and we now have a state-of-the-art, a little bit quirky building, which is going to be our permanent home. We just need to raise the money. Barrett's have been very generous. Now we need to raise about £2 million so we can fit out the school and have the best possible school that we can achieve. That's our mission. We want to continue serving people. It's a real legacy for Hampstead, and it's a legacy that will continue forever.
We will do everything within our power to help Isabel get what she wants. We're building what we lovingly call Block E, which is going to be the Hampstead School of Art. We do everything we can to keep Isabel satisfied and happy, and that will obviously continue through to when Isabel is finally settled, and the Hampstead School of Art and all of its patrons and anybody that has anything to do with the Hampstead School of Art have finally settled into the new residence down on site. And I'm sure that just the moving in won't be the end of our relationship. There'll be a long-standing commitment from Barrett and from myself, and there obviously is from Isabel to the Hampstead School of Art to making it work.
And we want them all as students anyway.
Yes, Isabel's going to give me modelling lessons. No, I'm joking. Yeah.
I am.
Yeah, you probably
with
would
the
do.
clay we're digging out of the foundations, Jason.
I'll bring you something in that I made at school when I was 14 years old, an elephant, and it's terrible.
Oh, I don't believe
the
you.
man that
Don't
the
believe
sort
you.
of snapped off.
Oh, sweet.
The new Hampstead School of Art will sit centrally within the building site itself.
Okay, so the Hampstead School of Art currently in residence in number 19 Kidderpore Avenue, which is this building just here. The plan is that in March of next year they will move into the completed Block E, which is down on site. At that time, about 2/3 of phase 1 of the Kidderpore project will be completed.
The school has a cohort of about 800 students. We employ 47 staff. Many of them are local people. We have family groups. The mothers come pregnant with their little babies and their children, and our oldest student is 94. Everyone makes art together. Our professional artists work alongside developing artists. Our students with challenges work alongside everybody else. It's a very beautiful place, and it's one that really should be here and continue serving the community in perpetuity.
Well, the reason I wouldn't want this place to close is because it's a wonderful place to come to just focus on your work.
It's a major part of their life.
I really hope the school continues in the new building.
I genuinely hope that the school manages to raise the funds that we need so that we can move to the new location, because it's such a vital part of so many people's lives, and in fact part of Hampstead. This is an institution, it needs to keep running.
We just need to find somebody really rich. If there's anybody rich out there, give us loads of money, because we need it.
People, in order to be content, need to make things. It doesn't matter whether it's a wall or a model aeroplane or anything. One of the things that people like to do is paint. That's making something, or make jewellery, or make ceramics, all sorts of things. And the art school at the bottom of Arkwright Road provided facilities for people to do all of these things, which gave them a degree of contentment and enabled them to strive. And now, due to Camden Council, that has gone. So here, the people organising the new art school, given to them, the building given to them very generously by Barratt's, need money to equip it and to get it going. So that's where all of us come in. So let's get on with it.